It's finally starting to feel like fall. So I wanted to find my own little ways to welcome the cozy weather. Right now, I'm designing a frame for this watercolors and ink painting that I did a while ago as I commute to my clinical shift. The commute is pretty long, so I like having something creative to do on the way to the clinic. This month, I'm rotating in pediatrics, which has been growing on me more than I expected. Now that I've had breakfast, I should probably change into my white coat. Oh, and I'm putting on this rose perfume that I made myself. Alright, all set. Before I get assigned to pediatric cases, I usually find a quiet little corner to study for a bit. I'm making mind maps on lower limb anatomy and biomechanics because I'll be starting orthopedics pretty soon and I want to be prepared. After work, I often do more studying in study rooms near the clinic before I run out of energy for the day.
And coming up after the break, we'll take a closer look at what this means for families at home. Experts say the situation is still developing, but early reports suggest a gradual shift.
I like to press flowers and leaves in my books. Kind of like little souvenirs from moments I want to remember. And somehow I always end up forgetting about them. Then later, when I open the book, I'm just met with these tiny surprises. This time though, the jasmine I pressed actually left a scent behind. My book smelled like jasmine for weeks. And somewhere along the way, it became a scent I really fell in love with. So I decided I'm going to turn it into a perfume. First, I'll have to buy some essential oils for this little project. I used to be so obsessed with designing perfume bottles, like I'd look at their shapes and styles, how they changed through history, and just get lost in them. But now I think I'm more into the magic of fragrances themselves. Right now, I'm mixing the essential oils I've got. I'm not really following any recipe, I'm just following what feels right as I smell the bottle every now and then. I'm mixing a bit of rose oil and jasmine oil, and I made the mistake of adding a little bit of lavender oil, which I strongly advise against. I ended up making another bottle without the lavender oil because lavender can be too strong and will overpower the whole scent blend. Also, here's a tip if you're ever gonna try this. Avoid using any alcohol concentration lower than 95% because you don't want your perfume to end up looking cloudy like mine did, unless you're still experimenting and trying to figure out a scent blend you like. While I was learning about perfumes, I came across this beautiful scent called Eclair. It's been on my wish list for a while, and I promised myself to buy it on a special day. For me, that day turned out to be the one when I earned my very first salary from actually treating patients. I finally started my orthopedics month, a new place, a new hospital. First we had an introductory demo, then we rounded on patients. And outside the hospital, Cairo's been changing too. It's starting to get really cloudy these days, which for me means it's time to start exploring new places again. I just love how the city looks like under that cold blue light of November. Today, I'm at this rom-com style dessert place. It's all bright colors and retro diner vibes. like something straight out of the 60s, where girls would meet up, share ice cream, and talk for hours, which is exactly what we did today. I've been thinking about what cozy girlhood means to me. There are words that come to my mind, words like gentle, grounded, creative, noticing life, its colors and textures. I don't think of socially prescribed femininity instead of it being self-defined, or retreating from the world and staying small, or anything tied to marketable objects or aesthetics. There's just no single way to define it, I believe. So I made the spread completely using stickers that my friend has pinpaled me and old magazine scraps that I cut out. Honestly, cutting out magazines is absolutely satisfying to me and a good way to collect the bits you love in them in your journal. The analog way of saving pins to your Pinterest board. This whole spread is centered around cozy girlhood, which is today's vlog theme. And honestly, if you don't collect things under random prompts like this, it's your sign to start now. Now let me show you my favorite way to punch art block in the face. Experimenting with new art techniques and processes. I made a rough sketch and now I'm inking it. For this portrait, I wanted to experiment with building the value layer using red ink instead of the usual grayscale. It's actually inspired by this old oil painting method called grisaille, where artists first paint everything in black and white before adding color. But instead of doing that traditional black and white underpainting, I wanted mine to have a warm tone. I just find that it looks better than first shading everything in blue. However, you should be more careful on where to shade, because later on I just learned that it defines the focus of your painting. The less you shade something, the more it blurs out and stays out of focus. After the inking step, I started adding the first layer of color, just filling the shapes in with one glaze. I was thinking a lot about her expression, that kind of vigilance in the face of my subject and what it means. She's looking over her shoulder with this little side eye, like she's aware of something behind her. Her expression carries an inner watchfulness, like she's reclaiming the space she's in, you know? Protecting her peace, but without really hiding. I'm currently adding the final glazes to build deeper values. I didn't want to rely solely on my ink sketch for value buildup. Here's the finished result, but I felt like I wanted to do something more with it, so I scanned it in and sketched out this nice golden border around it because I'm planning to make art prints out of it. So I just got some of my artworks printed at a local print shop, a few samples of each artwork. I'm so excited to show you the other works in the coming videos, but for now let's check the prints of the artwork I just finished. I cut them out and they are ready to be fitted into a frame. I think black works really well here. It gives it a minimalistic elegance. I also like how the prints don't look different at all from the original work, which is something challenging for me in the process of making art prints. And with this visual diary is coming to an end. I hope you found something that really stood out to you. Thank you for joining me today. Have a lovely day.